Bochiknot and Bochiknot.com. My name is Nicole. For those of you who don't know, in this channel you will find everything macrame related, from DIY tutorials to tips and tricks videos. You should be able to find everything you need to know about macrame right here. So a few months ago, I released a tutorial on how to dip dye a macrame wall hanging using RIT dye. So RIT dye is a great way to dye cotton cord since it's very easy to use and you can dye in almost any color imaginable. But today I wanted to show you guys a different way to dye cotton cord, and this method is an all-natural dye using avocado pits and skins. The only downside to it is it's really just many shades of one particular color. So if you're into a dusty, rosy, pinkish color, then this method is perfect for you. I definitely am in love with this dusty pink color, and the best part of it is it's an all-natural dye. You will need to save several avocado pits and skins for your dye bath. I chose to use 8 avocado skins for mine just because I wanted a richer color and because I was dyeing a bigger project. But more on that to come later in today's tutorial. I will be dyeing my macrame drawstring bag that I made last week so that you guys can see how it is done. Don't forget to subscribe for more macrame tutorials and click that like button. And with that, let's begin.
To begin, I wanted to show you guys the bag that I will be dyeing. This is a drawstring backpack that I made last week. I made this bag using a 5mm single strand natural cotton cord. It's very easy to dye. You can either dye a batch of cotton cord before you make the project, or you can make the project first using the natural cotton cord. Like I did here, I made the backpack first, and then you can dye the entire project after. I will be dyeing the entire backpack and the feather charms. So next, I'll show you guys the avocado pits and skins that I saved to make the dye bath. So I have several avocado skins and pits in here. Depending on how rich of a color you want, or how much cotton cord or how big your project is that you want to dye, will determine how much avocado skins you will need. So like I said in the intro, the color that you get from avocado dye is a rosy, dusty, brownish pink color. So the color will be slightly different every time you try to avocado dye. So I would recommend, if you want to dye a large batch of cotton cord or a bigger project with the same color, do it all at once. So you would need more avocado skins for that dye bath. Based on my experience, I would recommend using about 8 avocado skins and pits for dyeing about 1 kg of cotton cord. That should be enough to get a nice, rich, dusty pink color. If you want a lighter pink color, you can always scale back the avocados and use only 5 or 6. So as you can see here, I filled up a large pot with 8 avocado skins and pits. So all we have to do now is fill this large pot with water. I filled this pot up with about 2 liters of water. Once the pot is filled with water, we will place it on the stove to heat it up. I've also added a tablespoon of salt into the dye bath to help the cotton soak up the dye better. Put the stove on high and we will come back when it boils. Once the dye bath is at boiling temperature, bring the stove down to low and let it simmer for another hour. As you can see, the color of the dye bath is still fairly light, so we'll have to wait the full hour for the color to come out. In the meantime, while you wait, you can pre-soak your macrame or cotton cord into warm water so that it'll take on the dye much easier. Once an hour has passed, check on the dye bath again and it should now be a reddish brownish color. Once you get to the dark rich color, we are now ready to dye the macrame. But first we're going to strain out the pits and skins from the dye bath. So you'll need another large pot and a strainer, and then we're going to pour the dye bath into that other pot. Once the seeds and skins are strained out, we can now place our pre-soaked macrame into the dye bath. You do want to ensure that your dye bath covers all of the cord or macrame that you are trying to dye. And so because some of the water had evaporated during the boiling process, we're going to pour some hot water on top of the macrame so that it covers all of the cord and macrame you're trying to dye. If you find that your macrame is floating on top, you can add something heavy on top of the macrame, like a bowl, so that it's submerged under the dye bath. Let the macrame sit and soak for at least 4 hours before starting to check the color. So I've let my macrame soak for around 4.5–5 hours, and now I'm going to check to see how it's turning out. And so as you can see, it is a darker brownish color, and I think mine is just about done. You do want to see a darker color when wet because once it's dried, it'll dry lighter. I'm just going to let mine soak a little longer and then we can rinse it out with water. I've poured out the dye bath and added water onto the macrame. You can always reuse your dye bath for a second or third time, although by then the color wouldn't be as rich as the first time. But if you are looking to dye other cord or macrame and you want a lighter pink color, then you can go ahead and reuse your dye bath. Once you have rinsed out the macrame, set it aside for now and then hang the macrame up to dry. If you want to speed up the drying process, you can blow dry the macrame or cord. Once dry, the bag should be a nice rosy, dusty pink color.
I hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial on how to avocado dye macrame. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. And just in case you guys were wondering, the tutorial for the drawstring backpack that I showed in today's video was released on Patreon last week. So for those of you who don't know what Patreon is, it is a platform where you get access to more macrame tutorials and one-on-one guidance. It's also a community where like-minded individuals like you come together to share macrame-related topics. It is a great way to advance your macrame skills quicker, so if that's something you're interested in, then definitely check it out. I'll post a link to that in the video description below. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.